to say
Mic check.
Mic check.
Allie, you gotta come up here with us. We can't do this alone.
No.
Allie, you've got to come up with us.
I would just like to thank all of these individuals who were willing to go in there and speak truth to power. We spent a long time in there.
It was not fun.
It was not fun. We heard how they think about us.
Yeah.
At the table I sat at, they said this movement is about communism and socialism, and that we are anti-constitution. I had to sit there and listen to that because I knew that the cause was worth it. I could not have done it without these people. I could not have done it. But when it came my time, I got up, I pointed at him, and I said, Donald Rumsfeld, you are a war criminal. You lied to me. And you lied to the world. And there were no weapons of mass destruction, and it cost this country $1.4 billion. Trillion is what I said. But it was a good experience because I had no idea how that side felt about us. Have we got a lot of education to do? You know, and they're people just like us. But to sit there and listen, the war machine is alive and well in this country.
Yeah, it is.
And if you don't believe so, ask them when they come out.
They're planning it.
So, you know,
They're going into Iran next.
Thank you for letting me be a representative of Occupy Nashville.
Thank you.
And to the sponsor, and to our sponsor, who is a Vietnam veteran and saw the opportunity. She's the one that we all owe all the thanks to. Thank you. Go ahead. I knew I was going to get hoarse.
Well, it was long and painful to be in there, I will tell you right now. And I sat down to some people that seemed really, really nice, and I kind of felt bad for a second before I did it. And then they started talking about Muslims. And they started talking about liberals. And they started talking about, you know, communists and socialists. And it was the Muslims that really got me, this whole Sharia law thing. And I was like, these people don't understand what's going on. They have been misled. They have been misinformed.
Yeah.
And the whole conversation in there was about fear and misinformation. Fear and misinformation.
All it was about.
And they were attempting to scare these people into buying in to more military spending. When we have over 50% of the United States budget is to military spending.
Yes.
Yep.
And these people are afraid. Those poor people in there, the Heritage Foundation has made them afraid. And because they're afraid, they're willing to do anything. And they're not thinking right. And that's where we are. And it's really unfortunate. But I'm glad I got to go in there. As hard as it was, and as pissed off as it made me, I was glad I got to do it.
What did you say?
I said, Donald Rumsfeld, you are a war criminal and a profiteer. Colonel Samuel Gardner of the National War College reported on over 50 stories that you made up in order to sell the American people on this war. And then I got shoved out the door.
What did he do when you guys were speaking? What did he do?
He said nothing. He grinned
say
and kept
anything.
a straight
He just
face and
grinned.
sat there because
Yeah.
he has no feelings.
Yeah, the guy's a sociopath.
The devil does stuff like that.
John.
One good thing is that was being streamed on the internet, so who knows where.
Okay, good.
Tell us your story.
Heritage Foundation website, probably.
What's your story?
Oh, Cecily.
My story is after everybody else, I stood up, and while they were tackling everybody else, I screamed that Donald Rumsfeld is a torturer. And I screamed it loud! Loud! And then 8 people tackled me, dragged me across my chair and down the stairs. Called Metro. They said I was going to be arrested, and the nice Metro police officer said, I understand, just follow me, and walked me
Occupy Nashville being out here by speakers.
Mic check. While you guys were being heroes inside, we had an encounter with NSA. They parked a van right over there, left it running. A little camera poked out the roof looking at us. So we went over. Some people knocked on the van. Shook the van. Policemen came and said, "What's going on?" We pointed out that it's unlawful to leave a van running when it's unoccupied. The police then chased them away. Picture number 2.
Mic check, y'all. We have something. That terrifies people. Who live based on fear. And that's love. Inside that room. I felt compassion. For those that live. In constant fear. And I felt love and compassion. For all you out here. Who are making this beautiful world. Even more beautiful. For everyone. Because what I also learned. While I was in there. Is that conservative. Is code for racist. And sexist. And scary. And that even though the people that sat at my table were so kind, they were still paralyzed by fear. So my only hope is that if we continue to love, we can transform some of that. Also, what I said was... Mic off, I can shout it. It wasn't, I don't think they heard it, but it was, Donald Rumsfeld, I call on you to surrender yourself as a war criminal who caused the needless deaths of 6,000 American servicemen and women. Citizens are waiting outside to receive you and render you to the authorities.